Hi, in this video I want to talk about never giving up. Another way to say being tenacious. Being tenacious means never letting go, okay? Or being persistent. Again, this means never giving up. Always trying, always asking. Okay, what do I mean here? I mean that a conversation is never over. A conversation has never failed unless you give up. If you give up, you stop talking, the conversation finishes. But if you continue to be in the conversation and you continue to try and understand the meaning, not just by listening, but by actively asking questions and indicating verbally when you don't understand, then the conversation continues. Okay, this is why in our last video we were talking about our Swiss Army knife. I said that these tools could be used in any English conversation where we don't understand. We can use these tools to get the meaning we need. We don't need an electronic dictionary. We can just use these phrases in the conversation in order to get the meaning. Okay, as we said in the video for the Swiss Army knife, this involves maybe asking somebody to slow down. Could you slow down, please? This reformulation is very powerful. Don't forget about reformulation. Could you say that another way? Could you say that in other words? Could you explain that in a different way? Could you say that more simply? Or could you say that in simpler language? Okay. Asking for clarification. So, what was the word before card? Could you spell that? What does that word mean? And most importantly, I still don't understand. I still don't get it. I don't follow you. Could you explain that in a different way? If you keep on saying these things, then the conversation continues. You might feel bad that you don't understand, but in many cases, it's not your fault. Maybe it's not an English problem, maybe it's a culture problem. You don't know about this culture item. Okay, maybe it's about the way they've explained wasn't very clear, so you ask them to explain again. And if you do this naturally and quickly within the 2 seconds, and if you stay nice and friendly and happy, then the other person doesn't feel bad, doesn't feel irritated. This is just a conversation. Things only fail if you give up. So, never give up. I want to give you 2 examples from my own life. First, I want to tell you a story about an IT problem. So I was having a problem with my computer and I called the help desk. Okay, the help desk was in another country, maybe India or maybe China. And to be honest, I was really struggling to understand the operator's English. The pronunciation wasn't so clear for me and I couldn't catch a lot of the words. I had to keep asking, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say after blah blah blah? Did you say blah blah blah? Sorry, could you spell that? Was that N for north or M for mouse? We were checking like this. And it took a long time. And after 10 or 15 minutes, I was very frustrated. And I said, I'm going to call back again. I give up. I'm going to call back again. And I put the phone down. I put the phone down, and for 10 seconds, I felt better. That conversation was over. Oh, that's great. But then I realized I still can't use my computer. I still have the same problem. I still need to fix this problem. I have to call them again. So I gave up, but the loss is mine. I still don't have what I need, and I have to call again. And if I call again, I'm probably going to have to talk to somebody else. And I'm going to have to explain again from the beginning. And we'll probably have to go through all those steps again. So by giving up, I really wasted my time. Because I had a purpose, I needed this information, I needed this help. And by giving up, I didn't get this help. So that's one example. The second example, a few years ago, we had a Filipino colleague who was working in one of our plants, and we were quite good friends. His English was, of course, fine, native speaker level or near native speaker level, but his accent was quite strong for me, Filipino accent. So one day we're at lunch and we're talking, and at one point in the conversation he says something to me and I'm like, yeah. And then I realize he's waiting for me to respond. He wants me to answer this question or make a comment about what he just said, but I didn't catch it. Oh, sorry Neil, I didn't quite catch that. What did you say? And he told me again, and I'm sorry, I still didn't get that. And he told me again. At this point, yes, it's a little embarrassing, but I'm really sorry. I'm having a little trouble catching this word. What did you say? No, I must have some problem this morning. I must be very sleepy, not enough coffee. But could you say that word again? No, sorry. Could you spell that? Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, and then I gave the answer. Literally 6 times I had to ask him, what did you say? And of course, it's a little embarrassing for me. It's a little embarrassing for him. But if I gave up, the conversation ends. And actually our friendship is a little damaged. We wouldn't be such good friends. But because I continued to ask, we solved the communication problem and the conversation continued and the friendship continued. So it's actually very, very important that you never give up. Always try to get the meaning, use your Swiss Army knife, and remember, often it's not your fault, okay? If you don't understand, maybe it's something from their culture that they need to explain to you. It's not always your problem of not understanding. Sometimes it's just something you don't know and they need to explain. It's not a problem. Never give up. Thank you.